On the window, coffee in my hand. Morning starts so slowly in our sleepy land.
Welcome to Once Upon a Stitch Nook. I will be taking you on a day in the life of a crochet designer. That would be me. My mornings start pretty chill. I get my coffee, I potty the dogs, and then I come back to bed and take it easy. I'll usually work on something, but something fairly passive. So here you see I have to undo a piece of a project that I've been working on, and I think this is like the fourth or even sixth time I've had to undo the skirt portion of it. But we're getting there. It's fine. And I'm also working on a grid for another project. But yeah, it was a chill morning. And then when I really feel like I need to switch to work mode, I switch things over to my desk. So I had paintings that I had started the day before that I needed to do the base washes on, and I needed them to dry overnight, so they are taped to the desk. So in order for me to record my tutorials and take my progress pictures for designs I'm working on, those have to be taken off. So I work on that, and then most of the day was a lot of video recording, and then I found out, oh, my math was a little bit wrong for certain sizes that wouldn't work. So I had to go back, and it was off just by like one stitch too, which was annoying. So none of those clips worked. I had to go back and redo them. But I was happy with how much progress I did get done in the end. But as far as like the actual work, it didn't look like much, but that's okay. That's okay. And that's all good. And also to keep in mind, I really focused so much on today with the crochet designs because I really wanted to finish getting all these video clips because I can only get them during the day when I have a good light. And as I mentioned, I'm not a morning person, so I don't hit the ground running. So it's usually by the afternoon, and then by evening, I can't record anymore. And in order to record my clips, they're often a minute or less of a clip, but to show, okay, and this is what you'll do for this row. And then I have to stop it, do that row, or if it's a repeat section, then I need to work up the repeat before we go on to the next stage of instruction. So that can take some time. And so despite the clips don't take long themselves, I actually have to physically work up the full piece for it. So that this one in particular was going over a couple of days. So I wanted to finish that. I wanted to get all the pictures I needed for it, make sure the writing was good, and I felt like, okay, I can mark that off. Because otherwise I would usually switch things up a little more. I am a full-time college student learning online. I also am really behind on a book deadline that I'm supposed to be working on. I've been struggling a bit with my art lately, and so that's a whole other story I might go into on another time. And really focusing and enjoying more building up my crochet business. And I actually have a physical crochet business as well, besides just patterns and designs. So, but that has not been doing so great, hence why the shift into crochet design patterns. And I probably will go a little more in detail why I chose to do that and my strategy for that. But yeah, so overall, it was a heavier crochet day. And so, in a way, I do enjoy that quite a bit. I'm able to really focus on one thing, but the problem comes with since I have all these other responsibilities, I worry about them. So I'm worrying, oh, well, I could be getting school done, or I was like, yeah, it's not due, but it would be good to get on top of that started, or definitely with the book, I already know I'm behind, so that's almost a constant anxiety that I'm not staying on top of it as much as I should. I usually get some of it done in a day, but the progress is really slow, and sometimes certain things are held up because I need to what's the word? Check in with the author, make sure I get back a certain feedback, things like that. But yeah, so my mind's never really fully at rest or fully focused. It kind of sucks. But I enjoy what I do. And so today I was like, I told myself, just focus on this, it'll be okay. So I worked it up, and there I am. So I finished recording the front panel section, and I had to go over my math again because it was not lining up with the sides the way it did on this one here. it's not pinned up, but you see that was my first version, and then I wanted to try a size up for this version, which would really clear my mind if the math was right, and it was a little off, just a little off. So I had to make some adjustments. You can see here I'm just working up, it's not official. I'm just working up to see what adjustments I need to make to the pattern, and then therefore readjust for when I record the back panel piece. But the front's done. But yeah, it's taking me a while, and then I had to untangle and wrap up this yarn, which also took a while. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So I worked well into the afternoon on that, and then I realized I really need to eat something more than whatever I had for breakfast and my coffee. So I got myself a nice bowl of yogurt with fruit and granola, and that was lovely and refreshed me, got me in a little better headspace for my because I had already had mistakes. I had to go back and redo some math, so it kind of helped refresh me, reset me, and that's I often get so caught up that I forget little resets like that really are very beneficial for me. So once I had that done, I'm back to work. Just a lot of crocheting, working up the parts that I already recorded, and now I was like, okay, now I need to do the whole other panel, things like that. And you can see I'm taking notes in there. That's actually a journal slash pattern book I designed and sell on Amazon if you're curious to check that out. But I do use it sometimes to keep my notes for my patterns. I really enjoy that and having something a little personal and something I can make my own and very dedicated towards my either knit or crochet projects. I really like that. And also of note, I was really on like a social media high that I had so much content built up that I was just like chucking it out at everybody, wanting to share everything I was doing. But I kind of hit a point in my work on this cardigan in particular, actually both that one and the one you saw at the beginning that I had to be undoing. I felt like I was stagnating so much with it. So I really dove in head first a lot into it to make progress that I actually slowed down a lot on the whole social media and kept forgetting that I needed to, prep some posts and things like that. And here you see it's finally hitting closer to evening. I've turned on my desk light, not my desk light, my bedside light, and I'm working on some schoolwork. So finally getting something else done. I felt like I had gotten the clips I needed that day. It was almost done. I would just need to do a few more the next day to do the trim, and then I was done and I could start editing it. So it was time to work on homework. I think I did have something due this evening. So I worked on that. I think I'd already started it too. So again, I wasn't too worried about it, but it was on my mind throughout the entire day. Just how my mind works. Oh, it's a fun place in my head. I feel like I'm constantly worrying about something, and I do not like that. But once I kind of had that submitted, I forget what I was working on something else that evening. I think I was doing some edits to the pattern on there. And then I switched again to working on the project because I wanted it all worked up and ready to go so I could do the last clips in the morning. So I needed to do, I think, the other front panel, if I recall correctly. So you can see it's getting dark, and yeah, I'm just taking it chill. And I think I was also calming down at this point because I felt like it was a pretty focused day. And I told myself that tomorrow was going to need to be a little more illustration day after I got the clips that I needed for the rest of this tutorial. This tutorial turned out the longest I've done. I think it's over an hour. So I'm going to see how much I can clip it down. That was a little scary, and I know a lot of people are intimidated by long tutorial videos because that means when you want to find your spot, there's so much to go through. I was surprised though that people liked pictures more than tutorials when I did a poll. So many. So a lot of people said tutorials are helpful as supplement, which is what I use them for, but primarily people love their photos, which I found very interesting because I used to not do photos. And so now I see how important they are. And I really kicked myself when I realized, oh, that was a really good point that could have been very helpful if I'd photographed it, but I forgot and I'd worked past it, and I'm not going to undo my work at that point. So the little things in a designer's daily mistakes, I guess, that just cause some frustration, and that's fun, right? So yeah, it's so much of it is like you can't crochet just peaceably. You have to keep so much in mind. You have to stop a lot. You have to, even if it's just taking the pictures, I have to stop in the evening because I'm like, well, I need the photos in good light, so I have to wait to work on the rest of it in the morning to get those photos. That's all. It slows down that nice flow state, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, and I did a little sketching in the evening. This is semi related, though. Well, quite related to my crochet because I want to combine my collections into a book, and I want to add some more value to the book. So I want to add some illustrations and a little bit of lore, a little bit of story behind each collection. And so here I was just like not having a good art day again. I didn't like the sketches, but I was coming up with ideas for the girls that might wear the garments and how I might illustrate them in the book. Just playing with some ideas. I didn't take it too seriously. But yeah, that's something I'm like, I told myself, do a little bit of it because you've been like putting it off again because it's a little art related. And it's something I want to get done sometime this year, and I really need to flesh out the ideas for it. So just get started with doing some light sketches. So that will be coming. I will probably be doing some polls when I actually have some sketches that are something of what I want. So definitely see me over on Instagram. I'm constantly doing polls. And by the way, I love everyone on Instagram who helps me with the polls and gives me their feedback because sometimes it really doesn't go the way I expect it. And so I appreciate that feedback, and I most of the time go with what they tell me to do unless it's something of a personal choice that I just wanted to get some feedback, but it just solidified what I actually wanted it to do, you know? And I don't know, if you are curious to see actually more of my work art-wise, I don't know if you are, but if you are, I did start a channel where I was sharing a lot of speed draws, specifically usually related to books I was working on at the time. And so I do also go over a bit of the process of indie publishing, illustrating for authors, things of that sort. So if that is something in the field you are at, I know I scoured YouTube looking for those kind of videos. So that's why I wanted to put it out there myself. It didn't do well, and hence kind of I switched with, I think I also was lacking a lot of dopamine, unfortunately, from the lack of feedback for that, putting it out there. And I really burnt myself out with one book, which was a big, big mistake. I may go over that at some point if you are interested, or if you're not, I will keep my mouth shut. But yeah, just if you're curious, it's at Nadia's Studio over on YouTube. You can find what videos I've done there. I'm probably going to post more when I get more personal art done again. I've not been recording much of the process for this book because it's just made it easier to actually do instead of thinking, oh, well, I need to make it into content. I haven't liked doing that with my art lately. But yeah, so I feel like right now it's a healthier choice for me. So just doing it privately in my room. You'll probably see snippets of it here from time to time or over on Instagram if I do anything, again, related to the book project. And I'm also going to be working on a picture book for crocheters, which I am excited about, but I'm putting down the back burner till I'm done with this book deadline. So yeah, that was my day. Pretty typical. If you do like this, please let me know. Otherwise, I will probably give up on the idea of doing vlogs. But thank you if you did make it this far.